Aloha sports fans, and welcome to the winter wrestling edition of the Maui News Sports Report. But before we get to wrestling, we learned this week that Oregon State's Mana Rosa, a former Baldwin High School standout, in fact, a former MIL Defensive Player of the Year for Baldwin, will finish his college career in the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl at Aloha Stadium against Boise State. This will actually, Jordan, be the very first bowl game of Mana Rosa's career. He redshirted as a true freshman. He was hurt the next year. His third season, they had a bad year, and last year he was suspended. You're a former teammate of Mana's at Jordan Helly, of course, is my partner this week. And you're a former teammate of Mana's, and it's got to be nice to see him finish this way.
Yeah, one of a handful of guys that I was fortunate to play with that went on to play at the Division I level. Mana Rosa, kind of really breaking onto the scene this year for different reasons. Didn't quite get as much playing time up until his senior year, but he's been very, very good for an Oregon State defense that has been a little banged up this year. Has up to close to 50 tackles for an interior defensive lineman, which is very, very eye-opening. Guys, the inside don't really make the tackles. They usually do the dirty work for the linebackers and
right.
The flashier type guys. He has done very, very well and kind of making up for a little bit of missed opportunities in previous bowl games, maybe with a trip to come home, taking on Boise State in what is a pretty appealing matchup in the Hawaii Bowl.
And we're going to try and catch up with Mana on his trip home next week, and hopefully maybe we can see him here next week. In MIL Winter Sports Paddling Open, the Baldwin boys made a really big statement. They won their race by 11 seconds. That is a half-mile race. That's a huge margin of victory. Seabury Hall just keeps on keeping on in paddling. They win the girls and mixed titles. If there's a better coach out there than Paul Lu'uvai at anything in this state, I would like to meet him. But then really the crux of our report this week, the Garner Ivy Maui Invitational wrestling meet. It's always the biggest meet of the year before the state tournament, and it's obviously early in the season. And we talked about them last week in girls basketball. This week we have to start with the Lahaina Luna boys and girls wrestling teams.
Yeah, that Lahaina Luna athletic program just keeps on going. Fall sports season with football having a historic season. We talked about girls basketball last week. Boys and girls wrestling just as impressive the last few years or so. The boys took first overall as a team in the MITs. The girls came in second. We're missing Lalile Mataafa, who was busy off on the mainland in some other competitions.
Punt, pass, and kick on a national level.
Very, very impressive young athlete. She was a state championship winner last year as a freshman. Lahaina Luna girls coming in second at the MITs. A couple of their freshmen this year kind of taking on the mantle of the next up-and-coming star for that Lahaina Luna wrestling program. Iverly Navarro won her weight class in 3 overtimes over Alexis Nelson of Waianae. Alexis Encinas, another freshman for the Luna girls, came in second, losing to a defending state champion out of Kahuku. So the Lahaina Luna girls with second place overall. Both the boys and the girls have their eyes set on maybe getting over the hump and really, really challenging for that overall state team title in the boys and girls division. Molokai third overall in the girls division. Very impressive showing by that program.
And you add Lalilei into that Luna girls mix, and they're going to be really tough to beat at the state level. Other girls who won titles from the MIL, Jenna Maliola of King Kekalike, Desiree Corpuz and Rizpa Torres Umi of Molokai, Shayna Botello and Courtney Tau'a of Baldwin, and 2 more Luna girls, Karina Arroyo Haro and Carly Jaramillo, whose brother, by the way, was 38-0 last year, Bubba Jaramillo, state champ.
Yeah, Bubba picking right off where he left last season, winning his weight class at 145 for Lahaina Luna. A handful of boys winners at the MITs for Lahaina Luna. Joining Bubba was Isaac Panlisigi Domingo at 106, Christian Balagso at 120, Thomas Rosen St. John at 170, and Connor Mowat at 285. The only other boys winner from Maui County was King Kekalike's Rex Hazuka at 195.
And I'm telling you, this Luna team, both boys and girls, they're going to challenge. The boys may be 1 wrestler short, perhaps. The girls are going to be right there for a state team title. That's it for this week's Maui News Sports Report. I want to thank Jordan Helly for joining me, and send us your bobbleheads.